Hello, and welcome back to the Desperate for Love podcast. I'm your host, Sophia, and thank you so much for being here. Do you see what self doubt does to a person? Do you see what self doubt and procrastination can do to me? The Desperate for Love podcast launched in November 2025. Then I was MIA until literally December 31st. I don't know how I blacked out. I don't know how you guys got that second episode. Then I was like, I'm definitely going to do better. And I think I'm doing better, but like, come on. One episode per month? Girly, get your shit together. It's self doubt, it's procrastination, but most of all, it's perfectionism. I'm such a massive perfectionist that I do absolutely nothing because I wait for the right and perfect moment, for everything to be perfect, for everything to be right, for everything to feel right, for all these circumstances to line up. And applying all that to this podcast, for example, I expect that somehow miraculously these podcast episodes are going to record themselves in the highest possible quality, with me looking my absolute best, with me speaking my absolute best. Just, it all has to happen for me on its own. I'm losing all control and I'm just setting super high expectations that I'm supposed to have this super perfect podcast where I'm super perfect and I'm saying all these super perfect things. That is why you haven't heard from me in a while, and that is why you don't hear from me often. But this year, things are changing. I am here to formally report to you that I am changing. The Desperate for Love podcast is the first ever podcast where the host transforms in real time in front of their audience. Not after the makeover, not after she has healed, but right in the midst of chaos. It was super chaotic back in November when I was scrambling to release the first episode. It was even more hectic and crazy when I was trying to release the second episode. And now I'm happy to come out here and report that I began to change. I want today's episode to genuinely invite you with me. No matter what your age is, no matter who you are, male or female, no matter who you are right now listening to this, you have to change. And this is why. The world is changing every single second. And every moment that you choose to live your life in your old ways, you, my friend, are being left behind. I'm very happy and proud to share that I no longer feel that strong resistance to change. I used to be rolled in a ball, scared for my life, resisting any sort of movement and change. I would be depressed and sad about, why do I have to change? Why is the world changing? What am I going to do now that I don't want to change and I'm being left behind? And I kid you not, it was such a massive resistant block for me where I was like, I do not like change. I don't want to change. And how do I develop a strategy to survive through this lifetime without having to change? Just so you understand the level of resistance that I have towards change, I'll share this with you. I go to the same handful of restaurants my entire life. I order the same exact thing in those restaurants when I go there every single time. My palette of events that I attend throughout my life are repeated events, the same thing every single time. I am a creature of habit, okay? I later learned about myself that actually I'm not. Actually, new things excite me and they push me out of my comfort zone, and I grow and I develop with these new experiences. To tell you that I now have shifted my focus so much that instead of being afraid of change, I tell myself, okay, I want to get to point B. What do I need to change to get there? And then my brain starts brainstorming and thinking like, okay, you should do this, 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 and this. For example, with this podcast, I obviously want this podcast to be something where I come on and I share my feelings, my thoughts, things from my heart. And so I want this content to be content about me, my personal life, my personal deep confessions and things like that. But at the same time, I do want to treat this podcast as a business in a way because, of course, the goal is to grow the platform, to be able to monetize this platform. And so I've been thinking strategically, like, what does the first year look like for the podcast? I want every single year to be an era, and I want every single year to be memorable and have a theme. And alongside of just posting the episodes, I want to be strategic in how I produce content, and I want to start producing content that's not just small snippets of the podcast, but I also want to get more creative and have creative reels, clips, stories, posts. I want all of that to align with that first year and that first chapter for me. So that first chapter for me is change. It is this first year, that journey where I am really putting in so much effort to transform myself, to push myself to do things a little bit differently. And in my first episode, I said how I'm going to be 30 this year and I need to look like a complete hot smoke show. Well, let me tell you, I am so successfully on that route, you wouldn't even know. Actually, you would know if you follow me on Instagram. This year, I set one New Year's resolution for myself, only one. And that New Year's resolution is that I have to work out every single day, not just this year, for the rest of my life, but this year, I'm committing. I'm working out every single day. If you follow me on Instagram, you have been seeing my daily reports. I've quite literally lost count of what day of the year it is. And many people are asking me, how do you do it? How did you go from being a lazy slob, doing nothing, to working out every single day? And I'm happy to share what finally pushed my butt to get on that roll and start exercising. January 4th, I had a therapy session with my therapist. Apparently, the number 4 is the number of transformation. So the 4th of January was like a very powerful day of transformation. And I made a promise to my therapist, but also to myself. I made a promise to myself that I would work out every single day, with every other day being high intensity training. And if I skip a day, there is a penalty. There is a fine. That fine is $50. And so every day that I don't work out this year in 2026, I am donating $50. Don't think that I'm a saint, that I all of a sudden am working out every single day. I already paid $150 in penalty this year. The catch and the key here is that this money cannot go to your family members. It has to be money that you donate to strangers, people you don't know. And so I've donated $150. I've worked out every single day other than that. It's currently February 8th, and I'm happy to report that I finally have acquired this routine of I need to work out. And every single day when I'm walking through life and living my day, I, in the back of my mind, have a thing where I'm looking for, where am I going to work out today? What am I going to work out today? So I started to work out every single day. And let me tell you that it was a complete game changer. Complete game changer. I have a list of points to share, changes that I've noticed with my working out every single day. And I want to start off by saying that when you have to work out every single day, it's so much easier than working out every other day, or working out for 2 days, having 1 day off, 2 days, 1 day off. When you're working out every single day, like, you don't have an option, you're just working out and that's it. But when you allow yourself days where you don't work out, you get so lazy in just that 1 day. Your body snaps back to that lazy state so quick that when you are back on your workout day, you are literally dragging your feet on the floor, dreading life. So that is the one major thing that I noticed. When I tell myself I have to work out every single day, it's so much easier to just do it. You just go and you do it. Not only that, another thing that I noticed about myself is that it is such a norm for me now that when I have people messaging me on Instagram and they're literally like, how do you do it? Like, I cannot do it. Like, I just can't do it. And I am now so changed. My consciousness is so different, has changed so much that I no longer understand how can you not work out for the betterment of your health. You just go and you just do it. And before, I used to literally work out and be like, oh, I have to work out. Oh, I have to. This is so hard. This is so bad. And now I'm just like, yeah, I got to work out. I go and I work out. And then I check myself out in the mirror and I look and I'm like, you look good. Yeah, you look good. Good job. I just feel like people these days are so much more prone to illness than, for example, my parents' generation was or their parents. I feel like I have so many symptoms and so many health concerns that my mom, for example, didn't have until she was in her 40s. And why? It's because we sit on the phone, we scroll, we shrink our brains through stupidity. And then we can't even go and force ourselves to work out because we feel so sorry for ourselves. I saw this one girl's TikTok and she was like, you are not a child where your food has to taste yummy and good and everything has to be made fun for you. Like you have to watch TV while you're eating and your food has to be delicious and there has to be something sweet. And oh, you won't eat fish because you don't like it, or you won't eat Brussels sprouts because you don't like them, or you won't eat something else because you don't like it. It's like, you're not a child and you're not. Get your together. Your food is not meant to taste like Lindt chocolates or ice cream. Sit the frick down and you discipline yourself and you tell yourself, I'm gonna eat this freaking stinky fish because it's good for me. And you're gonna eat that fish, girl. You're gonna eat that Brussels sprouts, boy. You're gonna eat that broccoli. You're gonna be slurping up that tilapia. And that's it. Your food is not meant to be shaped like a dinosaur on your plate and make you happy and taste like apples or something, you know? You have to just suck it up, grow up, and take control over your life and take responsibility and accountability for your health. So many people complain about their health and they're like, oh, my this hurts, my that hurts, I have this problem, I have that problem, but they don't have the mentality and the habit to be like, what are some things that I can do or change to try and either relieve that issue or pain or preserve my condition so it doesn't get worse. I may not be able to heal it completely, but let me preserve my function so that I can last for as long as I can in this state before it gets worse. Society is not going to teach you that because society is designed to kill you. I'm sorry, but it is. I'm sorry, but it is. Like when you see products that say organic on them and we later learned that organic means nothing, it's a little bit better, but like it's still pretty bad. What do you think? Do you think this world is built so that you could succeed? No, you have to break through the system. You have to think outside of the box. You need to stop following the sheep and you have to figure out a way, look up to people that have done it and find a way for yourself to do it too. I want to go back and touch on some things that I have noticed as a benefit and as a result from working out every single day. So the most obvious one is that I feel a lot more confident. You might know me and you might be like, Sophia, like you're already a pretty confident looking lady. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. It's a skill that I have. I have a skill. It's called appearing confident, but not actually feeling confident. It's a great skill to have, but it doesn't actually benefit me personally. Well, now I'm happy to report that I feel the confidence and the power within me a lot more than I did in the past. I had a gig last weekend with Zapovid, and to tell you that I felt nice and lean-ish, toned-ish. There was no blabbery blabberness on my body, no more cellulite. And I just felt like, yeah, I know, like I'm a little bit like thicker on the thicker side, but at least I felt like like snatched a little bit, you know? So I definitely feel a lot more confident. I have less cellulite. My waist is smaller. My stomach is flatter. I feel stronger. It's just awesome. It's awesome. And I wouldn't go back, and I will never go back. I'm so much stronger now when I work out that the same exercises that I was following no longer make me sweat as much as they did in those first couple weeks. If you remember, I used to post my stories and I'd be drenched in sweat. Yeah, that no longer happens because I have now developed strength. So now I have to like level up and find ways to lift heavier or do more intense workouts to produce that sweat. My clothes feel better. My clothes, how do you say clothes? I can now wear leggings outside and not feel like my booty is looking okay. It's a thing. And that thing is gone. This was just the best decision of my life. I'm so happy. I wouldn't change it for the world. A couple other things that changed that I didn't intend to change. And I think this is going to be very interesting to make an emphasis on these points right here. People often think, what's the point of working out? Just because I work out, like not much is going to change. Just my body's going to change. But it's not true. The world around you changes and you change with the world. And here are a couple major changes that I noticed that were like a natural effect of working out every day. First of all, I found myself having positive thoughts. One day I'm sitting there and I'm having all these positive thoughts of like how beautiful life is and how excited I am to build and how excited I am to like make more money, change my lifestyle, live my dream. And then I'm literally like, who said that? Because I'm like, are those my natural thoughts? And I can think them without forcing myself to think them. A lot of the times when you read self-development books or you listen to podcasts, they tell you think consciously and think positive thoughts consciously. And so all of my positive thoughts are like, you are beautiful, you are amazing, you're the best, you're strong, you can do it, you are the best, you're this, you're that. Like you have to put an effort to tell yourself all these positive things. But here we are, I'm sitting down and I notice positive thoughts creeping up in my head and I'm like, whoa. And it's been awesome. I've had so many positive thoughts and such a shift in my perception. So grateful. Another thing that happened that I did not expect to happen is my Instagram engagement went through the roof. My Instagram stories doubled, if not tripled in views. I'm not doing anything at all other than just taking a picture of myself in the mirror. Report, here it is. I worked out today and I'm getting a lot of engagement. People are watching, people are paying attention. And this is exactly what I was telling my boyfriend, what I was talking about when I was saying, I need a physical transformation. I need to transform my body because after I transform my body and people will see that drastic change, they're going to start listening. And the reason why people naturally listen is because when you see a fit person, that person's body translates that they are disciplined, that they have their shit together, that they're organized, that they have a lot that they're managing and they're managing it well, and that they're stable. They're stable, they have stable thoughts, they have stable beliefs, they have stable values. And so when they talk about anything, the masses listen because why would you not want to hear what a person that takes care of themselves, that has reached a certain level of success physically, why wouldn't you want to hear what that person has to say? So I'm like, I need to transform my body so that I can be healthier, so that I can have a clearer mind, so that I can share my message in the best way possible. And people will listen and they will pay attention because they will clearly see that I'm making progress. I'm not just here talking. I'm not just here to get clout. I'm not just here to get views. Everything I say is very important to me. And I hope that it translates. I bought myself a reward at the end of last month to reward myself for working out every single day. And I bought myself a beautiful new green suitcase. It's a carry-on and it's so cute. I'm sure you have all seen it on my Instagram. I just went ham. I love the color green. And then I did something else because I jumped slightly ahead of myself. And February 5th or 6th, I ran to the mall by complete and utter accident and ended up buying myself a very expensive pair of shoes. And my justification for that purchase was that it's going to be my month 2 reward. So at the end of February, I'm not buying myself a reward because I decided to buy it for myself at the beginning of February. That is my logic. That is my logic. This is me. This is how I operate. Okay. But it's been super fun. It's nice buying yourself a reward. And like, you don't even, when you buy yourself something as a reward, you don't even think about how much money you spend because you're like, bro, that is my reward. I don't care how much that thing cost. I earned it. I deserve it. So that was great. I do have a confession to make though about the month of January. My food and sleep were not on point. Let's just put it that way. My food and my eating was super my sleep was super I'm drinking 2 coffees a day. I'm sleep deprived. I can barely push the last couple of weeks in my workouts because I'm so sleep deprived and because I'm not nourishing my body. Yesterday, I went to Healthy Planet, bought myself a couple vitamins, making a plan. Tonight, for example, I'm going to bed at 9. If I look back and look at my life over the last month, I don't believe that I accomplished too much other than working out every single day. I genuinely did not get anything done this last month except for committing to my workouts. And so if I commit to going to sleep at 9 o'clock, I assure myself that whether I get things done or don't get things done, going to bed at 9 is not going to cause me to miss out on anything or get anything done. So does that make sense? So the big theme of my life this year is consistency. I'm committing to work out consistently. I'm committing to go to sleep on time consistently. I'm committing to eat well. I'm committing to start doing my next assignments that were assigned to me by my therapist. My therapist assigned me new homework. And the next thing that we're working on is money. Money is such a sensitive topic. Everybody wants it, but people are scared to talk about it. People are scared to admit that they may not be financially stable or that they're not where they want to be financially. What I will say is that through my therapy, I'm learning that on a subconscious level, I am afraid of money. I'm not allowing myself to accept money. And God has a lot of blessings that He's ready to hand to me, but I'm afraid to take them. So we did a little practice where she told me to close my eyes and to envision money. And I see darkness. I'm like, I cannot see it. She's like, Sophia, I'm like, what is it supposed to look like? I'm like trying to envision like a little stack of cash and I'm just seeing pure blackness. I'm like, I see nothing. What that tells me is that I have really major blockages when it comes to money. And I know I'm going to be very successful in life. I know I'm going to reach really high levels of financial stability. However, I have a feeling that it's going to come like very late in my life. And I want to make that quicker because I'm struggling now. I want to live a better life now. I'll be happy to report back and share with you kind of like how that's going. Once I start getting like streams of money coming my way, I will share with you everything. The theme of this year, 2026, is consistency. And I'm really excited and really happy that I would like to apply that theme onto this podcast. And so in the next few weeks, you are going to see weekly episodes. Yes, I'm committing to it. Weekly episodes. I don't care if I'm not ready. I don't care if my hair is greasy one day. I don't care if I have to show up here without my makeup on. Once a week, you are going to be getting a new episode of the Desperate for Love podcast. You need these updates. You need to be invited to change with me. I know it's not easy, honey. I know things are tough and hard, okay? I know. But I invite you, let's do this together. It's so much easier when you do things together. It's so much easier when you have a buddy or a community that you can go to for support. Even just knowing that a few people are going through what you're going through is so helpful. And so I genuinely invite you, come with me. It's not scary. I'll hold your hand. You can message me when you are struggling. You can watch motivational podcasts, YouTube videos, songs. There are so many ways to motivate yourself. There are 2 types of motivations. One is where you're motivated by a future that you want. And so you're working hard because you want that future. And then there's a B where you're so deep in that you're like, I can't take this anymore. I need to get out of this. Unfortunately, this variety type B is what I personally have. I have to be deep into a hole in order for me to start moving and doing something with my life. So now my assignment for the next month is food, sleep, and counting my blessings, being grateful, praying consistently, and of course, posting consistently on the Desperate for Love podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you found it useful. I think I've included a few points here that were outward focused, and let's change, everyone. Let's change. Only we can do it. Can you imagine how our life could change if we were to change? Cheers to 2026 and cheers to change. Love you. Bye.